Yo, so today a bit of a special video. I want to talk about picking up girls when you have ADD or ADHD. And I know this is probably something that most people won't really care about, seeing that only 1% of the population actually has ADHD. But anyways, since I do have ADHD and actually literally no one talks about it, I thought I'd make a video about it. And this is going to be an advanced video. I am going to share exactly what I have personally noticed that is more difficult or different when you try to pick up girls and you have a terrible hard time focusing. And I will also share a bit about the ways I found to overcome those difficulties. So the first problem when you have ADHD is that you tend to overanalyze and overthink everything, which is a big problem because when you do this, you tend to focus a lot on the outcome. And when you want to meet girls and the only thing that you have on your mind is how do I get to my objective? How do I get her to like me? How do I get to sleep with her? When you go up to girls and you are in that mindset, it creeps the fuck out of girls and they will just think you're a fucking weirdo and they won't want to talk with you. The best way I've found to overcome this is to, practice mindfulness meditation first, to learn how to shut down that inner voice in yourself that pushes you to always be thinking. And also I think it's very helpful to learn how to focus on the process and not on the outcome. You want to find that dopamine spike from within you, not from the reactions that you're going to get from other people. It's very important to focus on having fun for yourself instead of having fun because of the reactions of other people. You want to find your own fun and your own pleasure in your actions, not in the rewards that you're going to get if you successfully pick up a girl. You want to create that reward, that dopamine by yourself. You don't want to rely on anybody else because as soon as you do, other people will start to think that you're needy. Other people will start to think that you want to take things from them. Learning how to let go and how to find pleasure in the process and not the outcome is really useful. The second big problem is that you appear too much. Since it's very difficult to focus on any single thing and that you're always focusing on many different things, you appear too much to people because you're going to try to find this dopamine from a lot of different sources. And for most people, that's not the case. So it's very difficult to relate to them and it's very difficult to appear relatable. When other people can focus on one thing strongly, from their perspective, you are just trying to focus on many different things at once. People don't really understand that. So instead of being like, oh, okay, this guy is having trouble focusing, instead girls are going to feel, oh, this guy is fucking weird. Oh, this guy is needy. Oh, this guy is gay because he talks too much. He's trying to have too much fun. And basically the fact that you can't really chill like most people is going to make you appear very unrelatable. So you really have to pay attention to this and you really want to monitor yourself. You want to have a lot of empathy to understand what the person in front of you, what the girl in front of you is going to think regarding your behavior. Is she going to think that you're a little bit too much? You have to pay attention to that. And it's very difficult because when you don't have the experience, you're going to have to go through those periods where you're going to be rejected and you won't even understand why. You're going to try to have fun and to share that fun with people and they are going to reject you because they think you're too much and you won't understand why until you actually understand that you are the one who's a little bit different than other people. But being different doesn't mean being bad. It just means that you have to cope with social dynamics in a different way than what most people do. What I found is the most helpful in dealing with the fact that it's a little bit difficult to relate to other people is to, take a lot of action. The more action you take, the more you're going to be able to put all that energy that you have towards something productive. If you're talking to a girl, for example, you're going to be distracted and you're going to look around and you're going to want to talk to more people. Well, just do it. Just be social. Use that lack of focus to take more action. Of course, there are going to be moments when you want to really be focused. For example, when you are about to pull a girl home or when you're talking to a girl and you want her to be more comfortable around you. In those moments, you will have to be really focused on the girl you're talking to. But for the rest of the time, when you go up to the club and you just arrive, if you start talking to a girl and the conversation is not really too interesting, use that lack of focus, use the fact that you are looking at the other hot girl to actually go and talk to that other hot girl. Of course, then comes another problem. It's the fact that girls sometimes will think you don't like them, or they will think that you don't want to get to know them, or they will think that you're lazy. Because again, people don't really understand that it's very difficult to focus when you have this kind of condition, let's call it that way. And a bunch of girls I've dated in the past, they told me that they feel I don't really care about them, or I don't really pay attention to them, while in fact I do. It's just that I pay attention to them and I pay attention to a lot of other things at the same time, and that's probably the case for you if you're watching this video. So again, the key here is empathy. Understand how other people feel, understand that the way you feel is a little bit different than the way most people feel, and calibrate to that fact. For example, when you're talking to a girl, you have to pay extra attention to care about talking with her in particular. Since your focus tends to be scattered all around, you have to take it upon yourself to try to focus on one specific thing. All those other things around, you have to try to ignore them and you have to try to silence them. Try to have laser focus on that girl you're talking to. I understand it's difficult because when you have ADHD, this is not normal, this is not natural, this is not your default way of operating with people, with the world. This is not how you're used to do things. But when you're picking up girls, it's very important to do it properly. I remember a few months back, I coached a guy who actually happened to have ADD, and I can relate with his difficulty because for him, it was extremely difficult to approach a girl or a group of people and just stay the fuck there. And when you have ADHD or ADD, it's very difficult to be in a conversation where not much is happening. That's another huge difficulty. The fact that we get fucking bored super quick. For example, when I go talk to a girl, if there is no spikes in emotions in the conversation, every 30 seconds, I'm gonna be bored out of my mind. But again, this is just me, and this goes for everyone with ADD or ADHD. Point is, most girls, most other people, 99% of the population, they won't be bored after 30 seconds of normal, regular conversation. We do. We get bored. But then again, we have to calibrate to the fact that the way we view life and the way we react to everything in the world is a little bit different than what most people do, and we have to calibrate to that fact. In practice, it means ignoring all that's happening around proactively. You have to focus on what's happening in front of you. You have to make the conscious choice to ignore whatever's happening around to focus on that one interaction, and it's honestly going to feel a little bit painful. A lot of times I open a set of people and the conversation is at the very beginning super fun and everything because I come in with a lot of energy, but then I have to calibrate to them being normal people. And I have to calibrate to the fact that, okay, a normal conversation is a conversation in which you don't have to spike emotions every 30 seconds for it to be enjoyable. And it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit uncomfortable. If that's you, that's totally normal. You have to force yourself to chill down a little bit and give those people in front of you more time, because you don't need time. Your focus is scattered all around the place. But those people do need more time to build trust with you and to build some kind of relatability. In the end, just like autism makes understanding social dynamics very difficult, it is still possible. And when you have ADHD or ADD, it makes relating with other people a little bit harder. I mean, I've been doing it forever without any kind of medication, and I'm still getting great results. I know a lot of other guys who do the same. So it's definitely possible. It's just a little bit more difficult, and there are things that you have to know. Very important, you have to know that the way you view interaction is a little bit different than what most people do. And there are ways to cope with that. There are ways to overcome the fact that you view things is a little bit different. So to summarize, here are the few best things that you want to do when you have ADD or ADHD to relate more and pick up girls more effectively. First, you want to chill the fuck. down. And when you can't, you want to use that energy to actually take more action and to meet more people. But then there will come this moment when either way you have to go one-on-one with a girl if you want her to be more comfortable and if you want her to trust you to actually have sex with you. When that happens, you have to ignore all that's around and make the proactive effort to focus down on her. Push yourself to stay longer in your interaction. I know how it feels, I know it's difficult, but it's definitely necessary. Alright, that's pretty much everything for today. Again, I just wanted to make this video because I really think that's a good thing to do, because nowhere online you can find resources about it, and it took me years to even meet a guy who was in the pickup community with ADHD, who was able to cope with it so we could have a conversation. So I really think this is something that can be useful to a lot of people. Next week, back to the regular videos. If you enjoyed this video, well, consider subscribing. Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.